I recently ordered a Bark River Cub, and I've always wanted this knife. I don't need it. I have the Cub EDC and I have the PSK EDC, and I love the convex edges, and I just wanted to have a bigger bushcraft type knife to take on adventures, and this one I had had my eye on actually from the very beginning. This is the one I wanted. It's just that I know it's not one that I'm going to use as often because of its size, but I finally bit the bullet, got this one with green micarta handles and brass pins, and to my surprise, the sheath that came with this one was actually not bad. The sewing is better. The leather is appropriate thickness and seems to be of a better quality than the last two sheaths that I received. There's actually some thought that went into the design, although I happen to know from pictures that they use this same sheath for several of their other larger blades, bushcraft style, outdoor survival type knives. So it's not exactly made for the Bark River Cub, but I think it's going to be a pretty serviceable sheath once we do a few things. First of all, we'll take a closer look. This is what the sheath comes like. Pretty much just a couple of layers of leather put together with a snap to secure the handle. And you've got a vertical belt loop here, and you have two straps that can be attached with the supplied Chicago screws to the sheath to provide you a horizontal carry option. Now, despite having a better design, it is still a pretty tight fit, and you're gonna have a really hard time getting this snap to snap the first time that you do it. It's gonna take some stretching and pulling and a little bit of leverage, and eventually you'll be able to get it on there. Not too bad. But it's definitely a two-hand ordeal, and I think we can make it a little smoother and a little better so that you can access and replace your knife with one hand if needed. You could easily just run this under the sink, but for the purpose of the video and to avoid the kitchen, we're just gonna dunk this in a little tub of water here. We're gonna let it soak for a while. Let all these bubbles work their way out so there's not quite so many. That'll be a good sign that the water has penetrated deep into the leather. Now it's pretty soaked at this point, so what we want to do is wait maybe an hour, and that will allow the water to disperse throughout the leather and evaporate just a little bit to the right moisture content for good molding. If the leather is soaking wet and you try and mold it, it'll just flop back into its resting position. So we've got to let it dry a little bit. That's called casing the leather, and when we do that, we'll be able to insert our knife and put a little mold on there. One thing you can do if you feel that these straps are just a little too short, or you really want a little more space to work with, you can just take while these are wet and pull them just slightly to give them a bit of stretch. I would keep it to a minimum because you don't want to stretch them out so much that they lose their structure, but maybe a little bit of stretch will help us have some space to work. And you can do the same on this snap here for the handle, which actually, if you look closely at the flesh side of this, you can tell that the grain is quite a bit looser on this piece of leather, and it's not quite as high quality as these straps that are lower down on the sheath, but we'll work with it. So now that we've let this case for a little bit of time, we want to make sure that we know which way we would normally want to insert our knife into the sheath here. And I think I like the idea of wrapping the snap around the top. So I'll be inserting my knife in this orientation. Now, some people will say you need to saran wrap your knife to prevent corrosion. I have never really had a problem with that, but I live in a pretty dry place in Wyoming, so it's only going to be moist here for the amount of time it takes this leather to dry, which you'll see doesn't take me too long because I expedite the process with the dehydrator. So you do what you feel is best for your situation, and I'll do the same. So a lot of our molding is going to happen just right here around the front of the scales. That's really just where we need to get this sheath to conform to our knife and make it a little bit more customized. So we'll go ahead and pull our snap around, snap it into place. Use your fingers if you want to follow the contours of the scales. And I'm actually going to remove this leather strap right here so that I can get to the front of our knife scales a little bit better. So with that out of the way, I can get in here a little bit better, and I can even use our boning tool here to really get the contours that I'm looking for. I just use an old antler for this. You can even slip it underneath your belt loop on the back side. And how much of this you want to do is really up to you. There's no rules. You're making this your own. There's not a lot of molding that has to happen up here where the blade is, as long as there's an appropriate amount of space for your blade to slide in there, it's going to be just fine. Mostly we're worried about this backside where the handle is. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these around, snap them into place. They definitely do have a little bit more space since we gave them a small stretch. But I'm going to come in behind here with a piece of scrap leather and slide this through these horizontal belt loops to dry, and that's going to help me create a space that fits my belt. Now you can set this on your workbench, you can set it, I don't know that I would set it in direct sunlight. You could, maybe in the window would be a good spot to let this dry. I happen to have a dehydrator that I'm going to use, and I think my daughter is drying some sage right now, so it's going to make it smell really nice too. One more thought before I put this in here to dry. You can look down the profile of your sheath and just make sure that there's no wonky warps or bends. If there are, this is a good time to straighten them out. Once you've got it aligned to your satisfaction, go ahead and let it dry. Now, if you do use a dehydrator or something like this, don't use very high temperature. Make sure it's, somewhere around like 90 to 110 degrees. That's gonna be a little easier on the leather. We're all dry now. You can see we've got a pretty good mold on the leather. Pretty good retention even without the snap. It's holding the knife in there almost all the way. Slipped out at the end there, but still pretty good retention. You can even feel a bit of a snap as it snaps into place. So I think it was successful. And we've got a little bit of space under our belt loops now to fit the belt. So that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and remove our straps, our belt loops here, and I'm gonna oil the whole piece with some neat's foot oil. Something else you could do if you wanted to is you could dye the edges, or you could dye the whole sheath a different color. The edges are actually finished pretty good on this sheath. Not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it how it is. I like the natural color, especially when we add the oil, it's gonna darken it nicely. And then I'll probably put a coat of Resolene on top of the oil after it's good and dry, just for extra protection and a little bit of shine. And I think it's gonna look beautiful, and hopefully it will function great for us after that. We can put as many coats of this on as we want until we get to sort of the level of darkness that we want in the leather. We want to make sure we've got good coverage, and then after that it's just a matter of making sure that you apply it until you get the color that you want in the leather. Then it always helps to buff out that Resolene with a dry, clean rag. I think it turned out pretty good. We're actually gonna test this sheath out next week on a backpacking trip up in the Bighorn Mountains. So we'll have a chance to see it in action. I'm probably gonna attach this sheath on the belt of my backpacking backpack when I'm in the backcountry, and then either on the shoulder strap of my day pack if I am hiking away from base camp, or on my belt. And if I do carry it on my belt, it will definitely be in the vertical orientation, because having a knife this size horizontally just doesn't work out very well. You're always catching it on branches, running it into things, smacking the pommel on different things, and it's just not the best. So vertical orientation on the belt, but possibly horizontal on my backpack, or if you have some sort of chest rig or something like that, or an EDC bag with mole webbing, you can attach it horizontally on something like that. So I think this sheath actually is going to turn out pretty good. I may not even end up making one for the Bark River Cub. Only time will tell. This is a simple process you can do on any factory sheath to customize it for your knife and just make it a little more user-friendly, a little more broken in, and a little more protected, and I think quite a bit more beautiful as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.